Andreas here, and I am back with Amorphis Part 2, the Tomi Joutsen era. And this next album, I actually think if I made a top 25 list of my favorite albums of all time, I'm pretty sure Circle would be on it. I love this album from start to finish, so I definitely think it would be on there. Like I said, I really enjoy this album. I love how the lyrics and story felt surreal. With each song, it really came to life and built more and more. I felt this journey evolve. The atmosphere, the lyrics engage with the listener quite a bit, and then it evolves more and more, like I said, with Shades of Grey, Mission, The Wanderer, Narrow Path. It all builds more and more with this heart and soul, and that heart and soul elevates more and more as we float along until we reach my first must listen to, which is like right off the bat pretty much, Hopeless Days. Now this song captures a lot of intensity but also bestows this melodic beauty thanks to the wonderful piano, sensual lead and vocal work, and I love the explosivity attached to Hopeless Days as well. There's just this lovely, awesome, kick-ass balance here. I love these roaring chords, thundering drums, the violent cymbal crashes that just stun the senses. Hopeless Days has a lot going on with it. I love the rhythm and the rhythmic tom work that is combined here as well. So, you know, like I said, as it builds more and more till you get this track, in my opinion, and then it's sort of, I wouldn't say it softens up a little bit. It might lighten up a little bit with Nightbird's song, which is fantastic. I love this alluring intro here, soon to be eclipsed by this engulfing roar, this beastly outcry. And then you got this screaming tremolo, which is perfectly paired with the ferocious vocals from Tomi, and this erupting drum work as well. I love the poetic piece though of the Nightbirds as they're sort of swaying in the breeze as a sort of bridge in Nightbird's song. There's this, you know, bridge between the verses, which is the flute. The flute that Amorphis uses is a nice bridge. It's nice and peaceful. I sort of felt like it was these birds, this sort of swaying beauty in this song, in between these really aggressive moments in this song. So it really has this lot like Hopeless Days. It has this nice balance of beauty and aggression at the same time. Amorphis is always fantastic at doing that. But then Nightbird's song at the end, I love the ending though, is climaxed just by these engulfing darkened skies. So that's an awesome track. And then we're going to follow up with my second must listen to off of this album, Enchanted by the Moon. This has equal importance that applies to each instrument, section, ascension, and lyrics sung, in my opinion. I'll give you some examples, like how much the guitars and drums do for the vocals and vice versa, how much the keyboards accentuate the lead work or the leads in the softer vocal spots, and how much the drums churn the anger forward, create a lot of energy, a lot of tempo driving. So everything really complements one another, and it really has its own importance within this song, which I thought was fantastic. The ascending outro was just uncanny in my opinion. I really like how it builds and really creates a whole memorable section on its own outside of the song, right? So there's just a lot of stuff that is really memorable in Enchanted by the Moon, and these keyboards just build and build, and the energy just grows and grows along with Tomi Joutsen's vocals at the end, creating just this magnificent outro. So I just feel like it's impeccable craftsmanship on Enchanted by the Moon. So that's my second must listen for you guys on this album. Now we got Under the Red Cloud going. This is one of my favorite Amorphis covers here. Freaking love this. I love how Amorphis puts in so much to their covers, the layouts, the photography. Just a little extra, but it's nice to have. That's why I like collecting a lot of these things. So I'll show you what I mean by just nice gold lyrics there with the nice, I don't know, what's that, burgundy, dark red, black background. But yeah, it's just a nice layout. I'll show you some of the photography as well. But Under the Red Cloud is, in my opinion, an album with genre blending tones. Some songs softer with a stunning melodic atmosphere mixed with a pinch of aggression that lead towards the lighter side of melodic death, like the title track, Under the Blood Red, or Under the Blood, Under the Red Cloud, and then White Knight, which I definitely attribute the softer tone to White Knight to Elia Stambridge, may she rest in peace. She has a very angelic tone to her, and she really does adds a lot of the lighter side to it, and just does a fantastic job on White Knight. She has always done fantastic work, in my opinion, one of my favorite female vocalists. But that's where you get that. And then whereas Bad Blood and Dark Path lay on the darker side of melodic death with these attacking vocals, musical fury, a bit of barbaric rage in the atmosphere, but seductive choruses. So that's where you get more of the aggression, darker stuff, and the chorus is lighter. Whereas the title track in White Knight, it's the reverse of that. So you see what I mean by where you're getting these genre blending tones. And then you get Tree of Ages, which has more of a Finnish folk traditional element to it, which Amorphis is very well known for. That goes all the way back to the beginning of their days, especially in Elegy. It really pops out there. The Tree of Ages is really has all those elements, and the focal element being the main hook performed by a flute, which is duplicated and harmonized with the guitars, creating this track that truly stands on its own, not on just this album, but throughout their whole discography, or anything, in my opinion, any heavy metal song. And I love how a song can have so much potency behind it, but yet uses a flute as the focal point. You know, that really works, and that's something Amorphis really does experiment with. They've done this with saxophone as well. But I definitely think, after listening to this a few times, that the keyboards gives the flute a little bit of a push, a little bit of a lift in this song. So the flute's not just standing alone. It has a bit of a backdrop for a little bit of a depth to it there, a little bit of a fullness. And that's where the keyboards come in. Then I want to talk about a kick-ass bonus track that was on here. So I love this, Come the Spring. This is one of a kind, in my opinion, with its invigorating tempo, constant vigor, and the exciting rhythm and the jubilant drum work, bookended with these glorious leads and majestic keyboards that just show so much vibrancy, so much energy behind this. And to me, this is some of the best drum work, in my opinion, throughout Jan Reckberger's whole discography, or all his work with Amorphis. And that's because of all the subtle nuances that Jan Reckberger adds to this song, adds to Come the Spring, with the fills, the flow, the beautiful energy, just the way he rolls off the snare in through the fills, the cymbals crashes, smashes, all that stuff, the little nuances that he does with the double bass. There's just so much in this song that you might not really pick up on his drum work, but I just feel like there's such an energy and a flow behind what he does in the drum work to this song. I love Come the Spring. It just has all, like I said, all this invigorating energy. Fantastic song. So I hope you guys, I'm going to highly recommend that one, so you guys can check that out down in the description below. Ooh, now we're on to Queen of Time, another awesome piece of Amorphis artwork here. I'll definitely show you guys the layout on this one. I really like this artwork as well. Check out this back piece too, it's really nice. Also, I didn't even realize, yeah, I'm wearing the shirt for Queen of Time. But yeah, here you go. You check out some of the artwork. I wonder what the artwork is on the vinyl. That's got to be fantastic. Anyways, let's get into Queen of Time. This opens up with a bit of a psychedelic kaleidoscope of auras caressing the soul in the track The Bee, and then transforms into a golden aurora of vibrancy paralleled by brazen rhythms and grand vocals. Yet there is this dashing pleasantry in this track, and I love how the flow of the lyrics and how the story cultivated itself, just like the bee in the lyrics, in the story, just come to life. This is an amazing track in my opinion. There's just so much energy, so much memorable moments. I love the keyboard work as well. Really stands out is the bee. Fantastic opener, a great way to lure the listeners in. But you know, earlier I was talking about how like Amorphis likes to experiment. They got the flute, I mentioned the saxophone. Well, Daughter of Hate is a great example of Amorphis showcasing that diversity with a crafty tone, crafty timings, and the desire of including the saxophone from time to time, which they've done for years. You know, so many albums they've used the saxophone on, but I always like when they throw that in there, or the flute. But the saxophone just adds this sort of different dimension to it, and it really works with the timings and this sort of energy behind Daughter of Hate. And I really like the spoken word little element there. It really fits from the lyricist Pekka Kenyulainen, which he's done the lyrics, I believe, for Amorphis since Silent Waters, if I'm not mistaken. But I just really like that spoken word that he does. He just sort of fits in there nicely, goes with all the elements, the saxophone, the energy, the tone of the song itself. So that is Amorphis showcasing their diversity. Once again, which they've done for a long time, but making a song stand out just a little bit more, whereas some songs on here have a bit of a different energy to them, and those sort of take themselves away from what the Bee and Daughter of Hate do, like songs like Wrong Direction or We Accursed sort of go in a different direction. So I like, you know, the Queen of Time, once again, Amorphis does do a fantastic job of showing their diversity, but experimenting here and there, but not going off their traditional sound too much, or what they are known for doing. So I like that they sort of stay in their realm but experiment just a smidgen to really try to create songs that stand on their own. So they do a fantastic job on Queen of Time. I hope you guys check out all the songs that I've mentioned down in the description below. Definitely the must listens. You gotta check out the must listens from Amorphis. Yeah, check out their t-shirts. They got some good merch. And coming very, very soon, they'll be releasing their new album, Halo, which I'll be diving into. I hope you guys join me on that. And feel free to send me any bands that you're interested in me checking out, diving into, especially the obscure bands. I know Amorphis is a little bit bigger, but I really wanted to dive into them, especially with Halo coming out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and check out their music for all the stuff in the description below, more metal content, all that stuff. Until next time, folks, how about some heavy Amorphis?